signing in early, and it looks like you're all able to see where the chat feature is. We will review the tools in more detail during the presentation, but for now, in the chat bar at the bottom right-hand screen, if you could please select all participants from the drop-down list of potential recipients to ensure that we can see all of your responses. So we encourage you to use the chat when you have comments or questions throughout the session. And just a reminder to mute your microphones, so any background noises does not disrupt the workshop. So you can mute and unmute your microphone by clicking on the picture of the microphone, which is to the right of your name, on the right-hand side in the participant panel. And also consider minimizing distractions if you can during the workshop. All right, so we're going to get started today. So today we are looking specifically at supporting your infant's mental well-being through deployment. And again, specifically, we're looking at the ages of 0 to 3. This is the first time that we are offering this session virtually. So we're looking forward to feedback on what you think works, what might be some recommendations for next time. And throughout the session, we will be using the term parent. We are including those who care for the child as well. We will be providing you with some of the best practices and up-to-date research in the field, and some of the resources that we have included today are from the Road to Mental Readiness program, Kids Have Stress Too, Parenting from Afar, a SPLIMO, Military Family Resource Center, and the 0 to 3 website. In addition to a few others, we will include in our resource list at the end, and we also will be doing an after-session email, which will include handouts. It will have some of the links and the recordings, so if you do want to look up some more information, then you can. So you don't have to worry about writing anything down. You can focus on the presentation, and you'll have it later if you want to refer to it. A quick note about confidentiality. So we encourage everyone participating in this workshop to take the material being presented and adapt it in their own lives. And people in the workshop today may express some concerns related to their own individual lives. And we just ask that everybody please respect one another's privacy and share strategies and resources outside of the program instead of individual stories. So why are you here today, or why did you land here today? We're hoping to give you some opportunity to learn some strategies to help you through the stressors or the challenges that are faced with your little ones through a deployment or work separation, to give you development in a better understanding of the deployment cycle, and give you an opportunity to learn some strategies, tools, and different approaches that you could use working with your children and managing some of the separation. So whether you are currently facing concerns about your infant or toddler, predict some of the challenges that might come up, or maybe you're just being proactive. I know we have Tanya who's joining us here who works with some staff that are working with children, then you're in the right place. So we are focusing today specifically on 0 to 3 age category. If you do have any specific questions about ages and stages, or particular questions about children, we're happy to discuss that individually at a later time. We could do that either virtually, or you'll have the opportunity if you want to connect, and we can meet later in person as well. So we've discussed the logistics, and let's take a minute for you to put a face to the voice that you're hearing today. So I'm on the left, Andrea Sweeney. I'm part of the Child, Youth, and Parenting Services team here at the Halifax and Region Military Family Resource Center. I've been working here for almost 5 years, offering programs, workshops, and support to our military families. I'm passionate about supporting families by providing information and resources related to deployment, mental health, and parenting as well. And next we have Margaret to my right on the slide there, Margaret.
Hi, so my name is Margaret McKenzie. I have a specialty of online training and program development. I'm a military spouse with 26, actually it's going on 27 years of experience, 12 postings, and more than 200 weeks of family separation. So I get it, I understand. My kids are older, but I sure wish I had this program when they were little. And I am also the co-facilitator of the program that Andrea has taken in order to learn how to design an interactive virtual session called How to Adapt a Live Presentation to an Interactive Virtual Audience. And this is her final presentation. So we're really excited to have you all here. And back over to you, Andrea.
Perfect, thank you. So the fact that you've joined this session shows us that you are interested in supporting your child the best that you can. And we believe at the MFRC that there is no such thing as the perfect parent or caregiver. There's no quick fixes or easy answers for parenting, and it's a process that will involve trial and error, as I'm sure many of you know. And it's always important to remember that parents know their children best, better than anyone else, so we're able to act as a great support system, and that you're the best person to teach the life skills to your children. And no two children are the same. Lisa, I'm sure you can, both Lisas actually, I'm sure you can vouch for that one. And parenting is hard work. So I'm just going to guide your eyes here to the top right-hand side of the screen. You'll see the participant panel. So in this panel, you will find the names of each participant that is joining us today. So we have put a picture of the participant panel on the screen for you to be able to see. So this is where you can see where you'll mute and you'll unmute by clicking on the microphone next to your name. So we use the mute to minimize any background noise, and when you have muted your microphone, you will see a X on your headset next to your name. If you could all go ahead and mute yourself, I think everybody has already done so. I see all the red X's there. And we will not be using the cameras today for the session. They can be distracting, and they also take up a lot of space as well. So I don't think anybody has their camera on now. That's right, Lisa.
Good for you.
So at the bottom of the participant panel is the menu bar with pictures of tools. So again, the picture is on the screen here, so you're able to see what the whiteboard looks like. So each picture is a toggle. So you would push it once to activate and push it again to put it away. So an example would be, in order for you to raise your hand, you need to click the toggle of the picture. So could you all raise your hand now and lower again, so I can just make sure that everybody's comfortable using the tool? Perfect, I think we got everyone there. There's Gina, great. And to the right of the hand, you will find the green check and a red X. So this is where you can answer to yes or no questions that we may ask you throughout the presentation. If you could give it a try, give me a green check if you have a 3-year-old at home, or a red X if not. Perfect. Great. So we have 3-year-olds. So now we're going to look at the lower right-hand corner of your monitor, where you will find the chat feature. Some of you may have already used this morning. So it works much like Instant Messenger. You will select or receive your messages by selecting the drop-down. So if you do click all participants, this will allow everyone to see your message. or you can send individual messages to have a private chat. So I may be asking you to use this feature today throughout the session, and please put in the chat to all participants. How many deployments has your family had currently, or any sort of work separation at all? If you could just write that in the chat there.
So how many separations have you had? If you want to put that in the chat to all participants. I have it down to weeks, but I don't have it down to the number of actual times he's gone away. Is everybody able to use the chat? There we go.
Wow.
We have 21 months over the past 5 years, 1 official deployment. I understand, Lisa. That's true. It's hard to figure out the exact number. Work separations are constant in our family. It's an airline pilot, so he's away weekly or varied amounts of time. That is tough because that's it changes the whole dynamic. Yeah. All right.
Great. All right, move on to this one. Okay, so I'm going to draw your attention here to the left-hand side of your screen. There should be a toolbar that looks like the picture we have put on the whiteboard. We're going to be using this feature now in the session. So looking back to your whiteboard toolbar, to the right of the pointer icon is the letter T. So if you could click on the text tool and then click in the box that you want to claim and write your name.
Could we ask you to use your pointer first to claim a box? That way we won't have people having the same box. So if your pointer is the gray arrow, if you just click on, there you go, Melissa's got one, Lisa's got one. That way we won't have the same box. You want to scooch over, Melissa, a little bit if you can. Great.
And maybe, Lisa, if you want to type yours in the chat. I know you might not be able to do the whiteboard feature, how you're joining us today. All right, so you're going to click on the text tool there. And if you could write your name in the box that you
I'll claim a box for you, Lisa. Lisa. Okay. All right.
Tanya, were you able to get your name written there?
So sometimes it's hard for us to see it until you've clicked away. There we go. Now
there we go.
See it.
Great. All right, so now if you,
Melissa,
sorry,
you may want to change your color. There's a yellow box or a box with color on it to the right of the letter T, about 4 over. And if you click on the drop-down menu, there you go. You can change the font. Sometimes it's hard to see yellow. Super.
So in your box, if you could let us know now the ages of your children and whether or not you are currently experiencing a separation right now, or if you anticipate one to be coming soon.
So are you able to use the text tool? Don't forget to click away when you've written. Ah, there we go.
Perfect.
Lisa, I'll write for you if you want to put Lisa Parsons, have you written? We're not able to see yours yet. You have to kind of click away. There we go.
Great. All right, perfect. I think we have heard from everyone there. I'll give you a minute, Margaret, if you just wanted to, maybe we could put all families for Lisa. Yeah, as a caregiver. Great, perfect. So I know this can be a new method for some, a new way to offer workshops. So we hope you're able to see how easy and interactive it can be using the tools that we're using today. So when we're looking at the objectives of the workshop, if you could all give me a green check whether or not you are ready to go and starting with the workshop. It usually does take a little bit just to go over the tools. So if I could get a green check from everyone. Great. So the goal of this workshop is for parents to feel that they know how to recognize the signs that are happening with their infant or toddler during a deployment or work separation. So these signs of struggle or uncertainty may be quite different than an older child who has the communication skills and the language development. We will learn about the typical ages and stages for children under the age of 3, which will give us a better understanding of what they're experiencing from their point of view. We will talk about the child-parent relationship and how you are already supporting the positive mental well-being of your child and the tools that you can add to your parenting toolbox. And lastly, we want to encourage you to use your supports and resources that are available in the community to continue to advocate for your family. This can be very helpful, especially for families who are new to Halifax or new to a different area, and they may be aware of all the supports that are available. If you are new to an area, if you could please use the chat feature and let the group know.
And if you are not new to an area, just give us a green check when you're ready to continue. Ah, Lisa Parsons, August 2017. That is new.
Great. Great. So we're going to do an icebreaker activity now as we begin to identify the challenges or the struggles that you are facing as a parent or caregiver with the infant or toddler when intertwined with deployments or work separation. So on this page, you will see a variety of pictures which will indicate a stress reactor that may be common or a typical response from a child under the age of 3. If you could please use your pointer tool to point to one that might stand out to you or that you may be able to relate to. So if you could all, oh, there's one there. Just keep your pointer on it so then we know Lisa and Lisa both have one. Tanya has one. Melissa. Great, so the pictures that are here include the stress reactors. We have sadness, clinginess, attachment with the parent who is home, or perhaps attachment with the parent who is going to be away. You might see some changes in the eating or food patterns, different likes or dislikes, changes in sleep or sleep patterns, especially if specific patterns or routines usually involve the parent who is away. You might have some of those changes occur if they're not there. You may have some aggression or anger, temper tantrums, and perhaps some inconsolable children. So children are like snowflakes, and not all children respond in each situation the same. And it's important to remember, too, siblings as well won't respond the same way. So the behaviors listed here are just behaviors that you may see more intensely during deployment. These behaviors are normal to see in babies, even when times feel stable. And we will watch a video further in the presentation, which will show us common reactions to young children experiencing a deployment or workshop. So if you could at this time, raise your hand if you'd like to share with the group why you have picked your particular picture. So we'll watch for the hands. Lisa Chapman, do you want to share with us why you may have picked that picture there?
Oh, don't forget you're muted.
Yes, you might want to unmute yourself there before you get chatting. They tend to get clingy. Okay, so perhaps some attachment or clinginess or sadness whenever you're there. No problem, Lisa, that's fine. Do we have anyone else who feels comfortable raising their hand and sharing? Melissa, what picture did you pick?
So I picked the one, the poor little thing standing by the door, like, you know, the window, crying and the hands up. And when my daughter was little, she had a really hard time separating from me no matter what. So I really had to really soften that, and how hard that is to be on that other side of the glass when your child is screaming and trying to reach you. So
yeah, that's right. It can be tough. Tanya, I see your hand raised as well.
Hello.
Hi.
Sleep when they're used to a pattern and then that pattern is changed because your spouse is deployed.
Right.
And they could wake up through the night and stuff looking for that other parent that's not there at the moment. That's tough.
Oh, yes, of course. And Lisa Parsons, was there anything that you wanted to share with us or some specific behaviors that are jumping out to you why you might have pitched this picture?
For us, when my husband was deployed, as I said earlier, my oldest was about 2.5, and I would say I saw all of these behaviors. Mostly I'd say the one that I clicked on, because it would just be really without any reason, just epic meltdown, so flailing on the floor, crying. Usually it would happen kind of mid to late afternoons, especially on a day that he may have been at daycare during the day. Then it would just be, it was like he couldn't voice what was going on, so it just came out in basically a meltdown. But we dealt with the disruption of bedtime routines and being clingy, and the little boy there with the grumpy face, so just saying like, no, I'm not doing this, or refusing to eat. So I think all of these pictures are pretty accurate.
Yeah, no, that's true, especially when they don't have the communication skills, right?
Well, and I think that's what I found the hardest, like where he's now 5, he's able to understand a little bit more. He might not understand why the separation is happening, but at least he can gather, Daddy's going away, but he will come back. versus before it was just he's gone and he doesn't know why.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you for sharing, everyone. I know sometimes it can be a little nerve-wracking to share with your experiences, but it's important to remember that these are all normal reactions, especially for the young child who doesn't have the communication skills. So when we're looking at what is really going on with deployment, we're looking at the changes that are occurring for the entire family. It's okay to have some of the worry. It may help you make some plans for those what-if situations. So what if my baby gets sick? What if my baby stops breastfeeding? What if it snows? So if you think you're worrying too much or making it difficult to complete daily tasks, it's important to talk to someone like your physician, a friend, or spouse, or an intake social worker with the mental health and well-being team and other trusted resources as well. Exhaustion as well. Babies and infants can be very demanding from our care and our attention throughout the entire day and night. It can be an exhausting experience even when your partner is home, so the challenge can increase, especially when they are away. When you're that only care provider, you may find the experience very tiring. If you feel concerned about your physical or mental health, please speak with someone you trust, and again, talk with a care provider or a doctor as well. Pride as well. So along with the worry and the exhaustion, you will face challenges and you will have to problem solve to find solutions. So you may have to sit down and have a good cry, but then you'll be able to clear your tears and clear your head and use strategies and resources to move forward. So you may experience great accomplishments while raising your baby or your infant or toddler, and you can feel very proud of what you're doing and find an achievement because it is an accomplishment. Would I be able to have Tanya read the stages of cycle of deployment for us today? Tanya, did you mind doing that for us today? Just to go through stage 1 there through 7, just to read the title.
Hello.
Hi.
Stage 1, anticipation of loss. Stage 2, detachment and withdrawal. Stage 3, emotional disorganization. Stage 4, recovery and stabilization. Stage 5, anticipation of homecoming. Stage 6, renegotiation of relationships. And stage 7, reintegration and stabilization. Great.
Thank you, Tanya.
No problem.
So this cycle will give you an understanding of changes and the stages that do happen during a work separation. So please give me a green check or a red X if you have seen the cycle of deployment before. Great, it looks like everybody is familiar with this, so I'll just go through it quickly here. Briefly, as Tanya had said, there are 7 stages. So in the first stage, you have your anticipation of loss. So some of the reactions from your children may include difficulty understanding time. So older children need time to adapt, and they may ask certain questions, do you really have to go? Whereas some challenges might be faced with the younger children as the communication skills aren't there, and their ability to understand time as well. For the deployed parent during this stage, they're busy with preparation plans, they're really wanting to spend time with their family, and they're feeling excited about perhaps their work that's coming up, and they may start to disengage a little bit at this stage. And for the parent that's at home, they might be in concerned mode. So they're wondering about practical matters. They may be having some feelings of sadness. Irritability as well might come up during this stage. And they may also feel that they need the support from their partner and their children. In the second stage, the detachment and withdrawal stage, reactions from your children, they may have a sense of stress. You may see some acting out. This is when you may see the tantrums and the behaviors, and you may see some regression of behaviors as well. For the deployed parent, they might be minimizing their importance for the young children. They're not doing that on purpose. It's their mind is getting ready for their work that they need to do. And for the at-home parent, the young child might be very clingy to the parent that's going to be at home. The parent might be feeling some worry, and there might as well be some withdrawal and from the parent that is going to be going. So there might be described as some numb feeling, which leads us into the third stage. The emotional disorganization and reactions may include the child may not understand that the parent will be gone for a long time, where older children may experience some of the mixed emotions as well as the younger children as well. But they also might be feeling some relief from the tension, whereas the deployed parents, the stressors can affect the ability for them to work. So there may be a possible disruption in attachment due to the difficulties in communication. And for the at-home parent, maybe a disorientation of feeling overwhelmedness as they try and set up their new family routines and just some of the things that they're going to need to take care of while the parent is away. So before we continue on with the rest of the stages, we're really just going to focus on the beginning of the stages here, and that's where we might do some of the behaviors and some of the concerns and why we've brought you here and why you've chosen to start for this workshop. So the stage 4, recovery and stabilization. The child may find a new normal in the daily routine and communicate with the parent that's deployed. So for the deployed parent, they might be settling into a work routine. They may communicate depending on how they're able to communicate, whether it's through telephone, email, or video. The at-home parent may begin to feel more comfortable with the idea of the new organization for their family, and especially with the roles and the responsibility that they may have taken on. So you can see in the first 3 stages, stress is at the higher level, which is due in part to all of the changes that have come in the beginning of the stages. So following these initial departure stages, you can see that the stress tends to settle down to the middle stages of deployment, returning to a normal or a ready state. And finally, you can see the stress tends to ramp up towards the end of the cycle of deployment in the big anticipation of the homecoming, following which things eventually turn back to the normal or ready state, marking stage 7, the reintegration stage. So the purpose of this is just to give you an idea of the range of stress reactions, and particularly stressful points during the deployment, so you can be aware and your family can be aware that some of the feelings and needs may change over these stages. And it's also to let families know of the potential stressors that may be coming up. So at this point in the workshop, we're going to watch a video. And this video is from the Caring for the Military Child, the SWIMALT Military Family Resource Center, which touches on infants and toddlers and the effects it may have on them. So the link will be posted in the chat box. Margaret's just going to post it there. If you could click on the link and open the video, and just make sure that you are muted so we're not hearing everybody's video playing at the same time. And once you open the link, you're going to click on section 11, so on the left-hand column of the page. And once you're in number 11, you will see the option below to pick from. So please choose the one that specifically states how are infants and toddlers affected by deployment.
Okay, you ready for me to put the link in now?
Yeah, if everyone wants to give us a green check whether or not they're ready to get the link.
Okay, here we go.
Great, perfect.
Please give us a smiley face when you're back. The link did not work for me. Let me try it again. Is it working for you, Andrea?
I'll give it a try. I'm going to try and copy and paste it here and see if that makes a difference.
Thank you.
No, it's saying oops. But if you actually go, is it bringing everybody to the MFRC Esquimalt webpage and then is it saying oops?
Yes.
Because if you click on the search, so if everyone sees that on the search, and if we're able just to type in, try typing in caring for the military child, and we'll see if it comes up that way.
So what we can do is we'll send it in the after session email. They must be doing the fixing of their website.
Is anyone able to get it there yet? Oh, we have a few checks here. We have one from Lisa, 2 Lisas and Tanya's. Were you guys able to watch the video? Maybe just let us know in the chat or verbally let us know if you were able to watch it. Found it through the search, okay. Okay, great, no problem. Maybe we'll give a few more minutes for people. I was able to get it in mine. I'm going to copy and paste this link again, Margaret, because I was able to get it when I used my search. And we'll try one more time for people. You might have, might be easier if you just copy the link and paste it. It might work. Melissa, have you had any luck at all? we got one smiling.
So what did you learn from this video? What stood out? Just raise your hand if you're ready to share. Anybody? Anybody, Bueller? What did you find interesting about it, Andrea?
I really enjoyed the video. I thought that, again, specifically focusing on the young age and responding to the parent's behavior, that really stood out for me. It's always important to realize that we are little role models to these people, to these children. So, you know, they're looking at our reactions. So it gives us an opportunity as parents or caregivers to have some reflection on our responses as well, and realizing the impact it is having on the whole family. Just being sensitive to that.
That is so true. We are little role models. You never see it more that we are role models when, except when the kids are older now, and I can see almost a mirror of me in some of the things they say and do. And so, yeah, that's a very good quote right there, that we are role models. The apple does not fall far from the tree.
No, that's true.
Thank you.
So after looking at the video, we can reflect on the typical reactions that younger children may display. So this is a reflection of their developmental stage that they are currently in. So we're going to focus a little bit on the background of child development to give you an understanding of the typical children reactions and some of the challenges that they may face. So the video may have given you some insight to their world and looking at the separation or the stressors that they're facing at their level. Maybe we'll get Melissa. Do you mind reading for us the left-hand column there with the infants?
Sure.
Thank you.
So the first one we have under infants is recognize and react to emotions. Smile back to a happy face. Then after that we have show emotions and can share fear by 12 months. Grow attachments to the primary caregivers by 2 months, and may show sadness towards strangers.
Great. And Lisa Parsons, do you mind sharing with us the toddlers there? Would you be comfortable doing that?
Sure. So under toddlers is full of confidence and eager to learn, wailing, talking, and constantly learning new skills. Fun time. Most of their interactions will be through play, and can be easily frustrated and resist changes to daily routine.
Thank you. We really do appreciate everyone's participation. It helps the flow of the workshop. So we've talked a little bit about the stressors that children may exhibit, and we have looked at the ages and stages of typical development. So how can we help the children understand these changes? So we wanted to look at it from the perspective from the parent who is away and from the parent who is home. So we're going to use the whiteboard tool now to share with the group some ideas they may have that will support the parent at home and the parent who is away. So you'll need to grab the pointer tool, which is the gray arrow on the top left-hand side of the screen there. And if you could claim a row on the whiteboard. and then you're going to click on the capital letter T, which is the text tool. Wait till everyone gets on there. And just share some of your ideas. So ideas or strategies that you have used to help your children have a better understanding of deployment or work separation. And we'll give 2 minutes here just for everyone to get a row and write down some ideas that they've used. And when you're done typing, just click away and then what you have written will appear. If you just move your pointer, Melissa, over to the parenting from home, then you'll be able to retype in that section there after you click the text tool.
Sorry, I lost it altogether. Like I can't see it at all.
Oh, so that's what page do you?
I'm seeing probably was close to it went back to where we were looking for the video.
Wonderful. Okay, so Andrea, could you please go to view and then synchronize?
Yep.
Is that better?
Oh, yay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Wonderful, great. It looks like everybody was able to, they had lots of ideas and discussions. So technology seems to be a trend here. Calling, Skype, FaceTime as much as possible, sending pictures and packages. And I like that one, Lisa, trying to keep the parent involved in some decisions. That's important for the parent that's afar. Not only does it keep the structure a little bit at home, but it makes the parent from afar feel like they are involved in the family when they are away. Melissa, having a researcher with your child that they can keep, that's great. So it's something, again, that your child can, or the parent can have, especially maybe some special pictures. So you might have, your child may attend something that was really important to them. So being able to send that to the parent that is afar, helping them feel connected and special. Postcards and packages. And for the parent that's at home, creating things with children to send and learning about different places on a map. So that's a great idea, Lisa. It makes the children feel involved and having an idea of where the family member is actually going. There may be different times when the family has that information. There may be times when they don't have that information. So if you didn't have that information, it could be a great time for conversation. Where do you think that they are? and adjusting to routines, coming up with new ideas. And again, the map was brought up, that's great. Keeping routines consistency, that's true, Tanya, as much as you can, or learning the new routines, so the new consistencies that are happening. And again, pictures of loved ones and packages. That's great. Lisa Chapman here says this reminds her of when she was showing her son where Daddy was on the globe, and he was accidentally dropped and goes up.
Oh no!
That's great.
That's cute.
Very cute. Thanks for sharing that. So thank you. So we've touched on many great examples of parenting from afar and parenting from home. So here are a few others. Again, you have listed them. We have leave pictures and audio and video recordings for your infant. I know you can sometimes get the teddy bears or the stuffed animals or even the books that you can record your voice. So those can be great, especially if you had a young child who perhaps at bedtime, maybe that's when they were feeling some struggles or some stressors, so to be able to have that to turn to. Creating a photo album or a picture book with your child, doing things together, so local playgrounds or backyard playing or reading or even brushing your teeth. It's helping the parent that's from afar feeling connected and helping the child and the family feel connected as well. For the parents at home, finding opportunity to hold and comfort your child. This can be a struggle because, you know, you're doing all the different things that need to be done during the day. You're getting up. Perhaps you're going off to work yourself. The responsibility, again, is relying on you. So it's just important to have a check-in with your child and really take that special opportunity to have your extra hugs and your comfort. The weekly activity schedule here is just a reminder for families creating the new routine and the importance of structure and how children do thrive on a little bit of routine. They like to know what the expectations are, so for them to be able to have an idea of what's happening. Preparing your child by stating very simple terms what will happen next. For example, mom or dad is going away on a ship for work, or mom and dad is going to be on an airplane, and very simple terms to where you're going. Ignore attention-getting behaviors, as hard as that can be. We can take time to attend to your child's needs. And I put the little timeout smiley face here. So I really wanted to focus on taking time for yourself. So although this workshop is really focused on finding opportunities to support your child, again, as the parent, taking time to have a timeout, have a step back, having an opportunity to calm yourself and feeling relaxed. Again, we had talked about the role model role that you are taking for your child. So being able to check in and have a relaxation as well is really important. Self-care is key, that's right. And could I please have Lisa Chapman, do you mind sharing with us? I know you said you had some background noise, but if you didn't mind just reading the quote that we have on the screen, that'd be okay?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you address mental wellness before a child learns to talk? Mental health is how we think, feel, and act as we cope with life. Our mental health helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So mental health services look at the needs of the young child in the context of the family, as well as the mental health needs of the parents or the caregivers. So again, we're looking at improving the relationship between the caregiver and the child, and the importance that it does play in the mental well-being of a young child. So strengthening the relationship with your child. So these are things that you're doing every day with your child. You may not think that you are playing a major role in the, supporting their mental well-being, but you really are. By giving them those extra cuddles and attention that they are seeking, it's really important in the teaching strategies that showing them that you are, you are a person that they can depend on, and it helps them understand the changes that they may be struggling with. And it's important to have an open mind when you are listening to your child's communication skills. So they're using the skills that they have through showing their emotion. So at this age, they don't have the words. They have their emotions or their reactions. So kind of understanding and being able to watch for some of those things when these behaviors are happening and looking at some patterns. So it's important to let family members, child care providers know that the changes are happening in the family. So whether that's letting relatives know or daycares, just to help bring the awareness and helps create a good support network for the child. And this again shows the support the child has, and it makes them feel extra loved and cared for. So here we have some pictures that are just some of the daily routines that, whether we know it or not, we are already supporting and strengthening the relationship that we do have with our child. So please use your pointer tool now, which again is on the top left-hand side of the screen, to indicate one or more of the routines you may already do with your child. Great. So again, this slide is just giving you a realization of all the things that you are doing throughout the day. I know it can be with deadlines and expectations, you may lose focus that you really are having these opportunities with your child. And again, just reassuring you as the parent that's afar and the parent that is home, the care that you are doing for your child and the positivity that you are bringing to them. So we have Lisa Chapman, we have her relating to the brushing the teeth. That's a great time. It can be a silly time. So again, that's a time that the child is looking for extra laughs or things like that. Getting ready for bed. And Tanya, I like how you pointed out too that caring for the child. So while you are doing this, whether your child's sick or not feeling well, again, you're looking after them and you're strengthening that relationship. Lisa Parsons has tucking into bed. So if that's something that's part of your routine, maybe you're the one that is going to be doing the bedtime routine, so having a special moment and that routine that you do, whether it's reading a story with them before bed or just physically having that moment, laying down with them or tucking them in. And the other photos I'll just mention quickly here is feeding your child, although it can be a messy experience, or perhaps a time where they're being really picky with their food or trying new things. It's another opportunity to strengthen the relationship. Lisa, she loves taking the ideas to the play pictures here. Great. Yeah, you know, just pulling out the bubbles in the middle of a tantrum. Having a moment to sit down and reflect on what they're feeling and being able to cheer them up. That's great. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. Margaret, I'm going to pass you the ball.
Okay. Wonderful. There we go.
So here we're looking at the supports and the resources. The personal resources may include books you read to your children, whether they're expressing emotion and through picture faces, through media as well. We reflected on that a little bit, showing the videos. So there really are opportunities. Again, we will send out the after session email with some of those online activities. Through arts and crafts. So whether you're sitting down and doing a craft activity that they could send away in a package. Again, these are personal resources that you're using with your family. Social support, so the importance of staying connected with friends and family and neighbors. Making time for yourself. I know we talked about taking a time out and the importance of self-care. And giving your mind a chance to breathe and stay connected. In terms of the community support, we have the MFRC here, and also become familiar with the Family Resource Centers way. I know Lisa Parsons, you said you're in Toronto. Have you had the opportunity to connect into some of the resource centers that are there? If you want to just use the chat feature.
I popped onto the speaker. Is that okay?
No, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Oh. Yeah. I somewhat have. The MFRC here is definitely much different than either Halifax, where we were before, or Comox, where we came from before Toronto. They don't seem to necessarily have the same support and programs that I've had before. I think some of it is because here there's a large portion of reservists that don't necessarily need to be centered in the same way that Reg Force members do, because obviously they're more so choosing to live here and already have a support system in place, and would have jobs and family and friends already here. And to add to that, the geographical region that they cover is fairly significant. So a lot of people are living, an hour or more from the MFRC, so that definitely has an impact. On the flip side, when we were in Comox, we lived, a few minutes from there, and they were a great support.
Great, thank you for sharing with us.
No problem.
So looking back on the objectives we had set out for today, so we have the opportunity to watch the video and participate in the group activities. We will give you some signs and behaviors that your younger children are showing during a separation. We discussed and pointed out some ways to strengthen the parent-child relationship. And again, just to remind you as the parent that you already are doing these things. We gave families the knowledge and power that they need to advocate for their children by reviewing the supports and community resources that are available.
I've given you back the ball, Andrea.
Thank you. So that's a wrap on the virtual workshop that we have to offer. We will have an evaluation. The link will appear when you close the session. As our last activity for the session, please grab your pointer tool again on the top left hand of the screen to claim spot on the screen, and use your text tool if you could write any aha moments or something that may have connected with you today. And just give us a smiley face when you're ready to share with us.
And Lisa, if you can just put your aha moments in the chat, that would be awesome. Thank you. And I'll be your Vanna White and write for you. While you're writing your aha moments too, I want to take this opportunity to thank this incredible partnership with Halifax and Region Military Family Resource Center and True Patriot Love Foundation. It really takes a village, and it's possible that MFRC is able to deliver these types of workshops virtually for basically anybody who has a personal computer throughout Canada, and it's possible through a grant from True Patriot Love Foundation. So we're very thankful for both organizations. Remember to click away so that we can see what you've written, and give us a green check when you're ready to share.
Wonderful. I think everybody has shared their aha moment. And again, the virtual classroom is a new way to connect, and this was the first time this workshop was offered. So we're hoping to grow from this. And this is just, I think we called it a teaser, didn't we, Margaret? A teaser of what the workshop could be.
That's right.
Thank you again for joining us today.
Lisa, I like that you put no two separations will ever be the same.
It's true.
Yeah.
And that's what other experiences are normal. Yeah.
We always need to know that we're normal in this crazy world. What was Melissa saying? I think it's remembering that people's experience stress with employment as well. Yeah, self-care is so important in that, Melissa, because everybody, not only little people, but big people. So I think we all need to look after ourselves so that we can look after the little people.
And recognizing that our children just need the extra support from us. That's right, Lisa. It can be so busy. Like I said, you're trying to get everything done, and sometimes you forget that we are who they look up to, and we are who they look to, and show some examples. You're right.
Wow, these are some great aha moments, Andrea. Well done. So Andrea and I will be here if you have any more questions or thoughts. And to exit the session, you just click on the X on the top right-hand side of your screen. And Lisa, what do you click on the iPad?
I usually just exit out, but then I don't get the survey.
Oh, we can send you the survey in the after-session email if you like.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you for letting us know. And if you want to give Andrea a round of applause, there's a little button there under the coffee cup one. There we go. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome, Andrea.
Take care, Tanya. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to see everybody here again. Have a lovely weekend. Lisa, I'm so excited that you were able to join us from Toronto. And we'll send you more information and resources, and keep in touch if you need anything. And I will stop the recording.